originally you weren't picked for the All-Star game. And then I witnessed it. I was there. We played the Sparks and you had a 43-point game. Was that like maybe snub fueling that? Was it just, I feel like getting buckets tonight? Was it just like it was happening that way? What was that 43-point game like?
It was definitely a snub.
That's what I was
snub
thinking.
Statement. I have history with being snubbed and then coming out and performing like crazy.
Yep.
And so
Love it.
That's definitely what it was. And I was just so, upset and frustrated because I felt like I was having a stellar season, up until that point. And, to say it just went unnoticed was kind of absurd because we're doing good. It's not like we were losing. It's not like we suck. So in my eyes, we had 3 All-Stars and I should have been one originally. But to then not choose me was definitely a choice.
When you went out and I was like, oh, she was snub. We about to see some damn buckets, as we do every night. But like, it was a different, like you went out there and you were just a dog. Presented by State Farm. Welcome back to Sometimes I Hoop. I'm your host, Haley Jones, in my rookie year for the Atlanta Dream. And this week, I'm joined by a certified bucket. We got the Kentucky 2,000-point scorer, the reigning WNBA Rookie of the Year, now 2-time All-Star, and new fun fact, the fastest Dream player to score 1,000 points, along with many other accolades, none other than the Rhyne Howard. Thank you for hopping on the pod, Rye.
Thank you so much for having me. Truly a blessing.
No, it's true. It's truly a pleasure. Thank you for blessing me with your presence. It's not like I see you enough. But before we get into it, I heard you loud and clear when I had your mom on the pod last season. You said that Miss RJ gets more shine than you. So we had to have you on the pod. And, the Black Mama Network kind of started with our moms, and then she manifested me coming to Atlanta. So does Miss RJ really run the show?
She runs it. She's the head and she's the employees. She's in charge of everything.
Yeah, I feel that. That's how Miss Monique is as well. Just kind of do what she says.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah. But so just kind of the way the WNBA is right now, everybody's kind of on a playoff push. Competition is tight right now. Which teams are you keeping your eye on as we get closer to the playoffs to make a little run?
Right now, I'd say I'm more focused on, how Washington is doing and how Dallas is doing, since we're all in that same, kind of area.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. We're all like basically have the same record, one in front, one behind. So I feel like with every game, it shifts. So there's really no telling who's 4th or 6th right now. But tell us, the listeners here, how have things shifted for you focus-wise, as a team now that we're halfway through the season?
I would say for us, focus-wise, we're, more locked in on us and how we're doing as far as, making this push for the playoffs. We've pretty much seen almost everybody now. And so we're just trying to make sure we stay locked in because we can't control what the other teams do. We can only control what we do.
Great answer, Ryan. So we got to give a shout out to our girl, Coach T, for getting Coach of the Month. She's definitely a player's coach. Talk about her coaching style, what she's done for the program, organization here, and what she's done for you as a coach.
She's just been there, as far as like away from coaching first, she's definitely a player's coach. And so she's, known what to do to be successful. She's been successful, but she's also like very caring as a person. She wants to see us succeed as people in life. And so I just say that for her to, be that caring at the head, it just, relaxes us a little bit more because, she's not just always pressure on, basketball. She hasn't talked about playoffs at all. It's all internal. But she's definitely led the way and, helped keep me accountable. And, all the success I'm getting, I truly can, attest it to her and what she's done for me.
Let's backtrack to your stellar rookie season that you had last year. Just amazing. One for the books, being the star that you are. What was your draft process like? Did you know you were going to be the number 1 pick? Did you have any nerves around the draft, or what was that like?
Oh, nerves all around. I imagined going first, but with our class, anybody could be first. Anybody could be one. Anything could happen. Um, so definitely like the day of, you know, we have that little go to the Empire State Building, da da da. But like after that, like when I was getting my makeup and stuff done, then it was like everything was starting to dawn on me. Like no matter where I went, like my dreams were about to come true, and like I was about to be playing professional as a job, and this is about to be my life. But like I had no clue. Like I didn't know if I was gonna still be one. I could drop to two, drop to three. But it was like as soon as I heard my name, like I didn't want to cry because my makeup was looking good. But it was like everything just hit me at once, and it was like all the emotions you could feel, I felt in a matter of like 10 seconds.
Yeah. And it whirls by because you're up on the stage, you go see Holly. It's just like, oh, and you're done. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I was talking to my mom about it because she was like, do you know like what happens to the jersey that you get? It's like, you go up there, you hold the jersey, take the picture, blah, blah. And I was like, girl, I don't even remember nothing past that stage. I don't know if I gave it back. I don't know if she gave it to me. I don't know what happened. I was just up there just saying words. I don't even remember what I said.
No, literally, like people would ask me, what was that? I was like, I think I blacked out. Like you hear your name and then everything else is really a blur. I remember hugging my mom and I don't remember anything on stage. I don't remember, did I high five Kathy? Did I give her a hug? Did I fall? Did I just keep on walking? Like, did I look cute? Who knows? Was I hunchbacked? But I really blacked out. It's really like a crazy experience. And I don't think there's anything like it.
Yeah, I remember like when I finished with Holly, I was like, I have no clue what I just did.
Yeah, what did I say? Did it sound good?
I hope everybody was, enjoying it because I just started saying stuff and just kept coming out.
Hopefully I was charming. I was just word vomiting, whatever came to my mind. But I mean, your rookie year was really one for the books. And I would ask what the biggest adjustment was from college to the pro life, but was there much of an adjustment, Ryan? You were rookie of the month every month. You were rolling. Like, how did your mindset change, or how did you, I don't know, prep to be a pro? Because it seemed like that adjustment was seamless. But, tell me more about that.
I'd say the biggest adjustment definitely was like the pace of the game. I feel like everybody comes in and says the pace because it is fast paced. And when you play for somebody like T, now it's pace times 2. And so
pace times a million on everything you do.
Pace times 100,000. But just coming in and then, them like telling me like other teams' mindset is probably going to be like, okay, well, this is number 1 draft pick. I don't care. Like, I'm going to bully you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And so just being able to get comfortable with being uncomfortable for the first, couple of games, because just seeing how teams would play, seeing like different looks every night. And like, that's something different because like, I just got here. Why are y'all switching up all these looks?
I just arrived. I'm here.
Like, it's only my 3rd day out here and y'all are trapping me already. Like,
yeah.
So I feel like that also helped me because now they've done it so early. Now I can expect a little bit of what's to come.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, you're right. Like even now, you'd be like, yep, they're doing this, they're doing that. We're trying to figure out how to help you. And it's like they do something different. They're like, okay, staggers, this is one thing. On balls, handoffs. And I just be watching you and I'm like, wow, look at her go. Go, Ryan. Can I help you in any way? Yeah. And you mentioned Coach T. What was your first impression of her when you first got into training camp? Do you have a favorite story in mind, or just what were those like, moments where you're like, oh, wow, this is T. We're ready. We're here.
No, I knew I had to mentally prepare before the first practice of training camp ever because, we had this like welcome to the A moment, me and Nas, where we like went around and, she came to eat with us and we was like asking her like, so what's this first 2 day going to look like? And she said, the first practice is going to be all defense. And keep in mind, I haven't touched the ball since the end of the season.
Yeah.
So that first practice, I was dying. And we was just running up and down all types of transition defense drills.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let me get my mind right because this is what it's going to be like.
Nah, literally. Like you were in Italy during our first few days of training camp, but I was like, wow, this is gonna be my life for the foreseeable future. And we did this layup drill, and I was like, wow, like there's like she can clearly see that we're dying and we are thirsty. It was like you're a SpongeBob lover. It was like he's like water. That's how I was. Eat it. And I just look at her and she's like, nope, not good enough. Restart. It does
do it
not
again.
care.
Start over. Like, nobody cares. Start over.
Literally, nobody cares. And she's talking about, oops, sleep nights. Oop, this, like,
wake up.
She has so many quotes. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so tired.
Yeah, we definitely had the hardest training camp and will continue to have the hardest training camp.
Yeah, because she's not one to drop off. Like, even this year, she's like, y'all feel my energy, match it. I'm like, that's a lot of energy. That's hard to match.
We'll try. We're still trying.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. So when last year did you feel like, like I'm catching my rhythm?
It only took a few games. I think like I'm in the record books for how fast to 100 points, however many games.
Talk to him. I'm in the record books for yet another thing.
But it was like at that moment. And then like I knew teams were like solely focusing on me. It's like, okay, they already are aware that I'm going to be a problem. Oh,
and she still is.
If I do say so myself.
It's a little something. Okay. Okay, so moving back into your early hoops, how did you get into basketball? What started this all for you?
My Dukes, she played, of course, pretty much, most of my family played, but my mom, she played, she coached me all the way up until high school. But she's also she's played in Olympics. I'm not going to try to put the year out. I don't want to mess it up.
She'll come for you.
So she has her little bronze medal. Mm-hmm. She's coached collegiately. She's coached, she has a lot of experience. And so I always looked up to her and wanted to basically be like her while I was growing up. And so she always put me in a position to be successful. She made sacrifices for me. Like wherever we needed to move, we would move. She got me the best trainers. She's really paved the way, but allowing me to be myself and allowing me to do other things. So I played other sports growing up, and she played at Florida for college ball, and I wanted to go to Florida for the longest, but ultimately she was like, well, are you sure you don't want to look at other schools? And basically said no, don't go there to an extent. But yeah, she really has done everything that she could.
Aw, Miss RJ. Big shout out. What a queen. We love her. She's the best. But you mentioned her coaching you most of your life up until high school. And, I feel like we can definitely bond because on one hand, it's great. Your mom's your coach, but also there's trauma because you're now
everything's your fault.
Yeah, everything's your fault. They can take it out on you because they know you can take it. But I think for me, the craziest thing that I struggled with my mom is how you gonna be at practice and yell at me for 2 hours and then you get in the car. And my mom was very much what happens at the gym stays at the gym. And then we get in the car and she's like, oh, let's hang out. Let's do this and that. And I'm like, I don't like you right now. I need some space. But what?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. What do you think the best and worst parts were with your mom?
I would say the best was just being able to spend time. I knew with basketball was going to come a lot of sacrifices. Many athletes don't have a lot of friends because a lot of non-athletic friends because they can do things that athletes can't. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like being able to still have that relationship and bond with my mom and still be able to, spend that time, even if it was her yelling at me, was just more core memories that were going to be made. But I did hate her yelling at me for somebody else's mistakes.
How was it my fault? How?
Like, oh, you're supposed to know they're supposed to be there.
Make it make sense.
I don't even know where I'm supposed to be.
You were on varsity in the 8th grade, which is unheard of. You're like 13 putting a whooping on these girls about to go into college. And I read something, and I need you to clarify this. But how does one miss a dance and yet still be named queen of the 8th grade dance? Is that true, Ryan?
That is true.
Wow, Miss Popular. Look at you.
That is true. I had to make a sacrifice that day. So that was my first high school basketball game as an 8th grader.
but you still got queen of the dance.
But I still was.
As you should. And then you doubled down, and then you were prom queen in high school. So young Ryan, you're queen in 8th grade, you're a prom queen, just the girl of the school. What was that like? Just, hooping, getting buckets, boom, turn around. I'm your prom queen. I run this entire school.
What's understood doesn't have to be.
I should have that. I immediately regret asking this question. Next.
No. It was great. So, everybody in school loved me. Like, I didn't want to be known as the basketball player who's like not nice, not friendly.
Yeah.
So I talked to everybody. I was, different groups in high school. And so just being able to, be there and just be a normal person, like, yeah, people in high school are going to hype you up, but you can still be genuine to anybody.
No, I totally understand. And I feel like people don't always expect that. Like, if you're this top athlete and you're doing this and that, they have these just preconceived ideas about who you are. And then here you are being Ryan, making SpongeBob jokes, cracking up about this and that, talking to anybody ever. I bet that all those people really appreciate that. And now, like, they know who you are. Even when you're in the league, being Rookie of the Year, you're still their 8th grade and high school prom queen that they all know and love, which is so special, Ryan. So these college coaches have been coming to your game since basically you were born. When did recruiting get real for you? And then which visits, like, how did you narrow it down to what visit you were going to take?
I would say recruiting was serious in 7th grade.
Jesus. Ryan.
I would say
like freshman sophomore year. Wow. Okay.
That's when like the offers started coming in.
You're like 12.
Yeah. But like, it was at that moment, like, some of the bonds that I still have with some coaches were built. So like, it came down. So my final 5 were Kentucky, South Carolina, NC State, Florida, and Purdue. And Purdue was definitely in that group that had been there since the beginning. Like, Purdue coaches came to track meets.
Oh my God.
That's how serious it was.
Yeah.
But, Kentucky was just, it felt like home when I was on campus. Not saying that anywhere else didn't, but like, when you just know. And I had that feeling as soon as I, was with the team, at the coach's house and just, having fun with everybody, making jokes. Like, there was nothing about basketball to be said. Like, we was just enjoying the moment.
Yeah. Okay. So we landed on Kentucky. Amazing. Big blue. Look at you go. So then Kentucky, you had an amazing career there, just legendary. And then sophomore and junior year, you were player of the year in the SEC, which is kind of big time. And then winning that as a sophomore is tough. So what was that like, winning as a sophomore, and then you ended up going back to back? Like, once you won, were you like, let me get it again? Like, did you expect to win your sophomore year? Kind of had like a breakout season. You kind of went crazy.
I also was freshman of the year. So I knew I had to follow that up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me throw that in there.
National freshman of the year.
Sorry. Apologies, Ryan. Yeah, throw that in there. Continue.
So I knew, like, obviously doing that, you have to back it up with something. And, I couldn't go in and allow teams to be like, okay, well, they know who I am now. It's been a year. they're going to try to come harder, and I have to switch it up. Like, I have to be able to come harder as well to make sure that, they don't know what my next move is.
Yeah. How do you feel throughout your time at Kentucky? How did that prepare you for the league? The transition is hard, but I feel like depending on where you played, the coach that you had, I know your coach came to our Chicago game, and that was really special when she surprised you. But, what were your years like leading up into the league?
There was definitely a lot of ups and downs. We had winning teams, we had some losing teams, but it just built my, how do I put this? How I can overcome adversity as a person and as a leader of a team. And so just being able to, continue to try to have fun through everything and, stick with my teammates through everything that went on. It kind of built like, the charisma that I have now with you, with everybody on Atlanta's team. And so, of course, they wanted me to be successful, but like as the time was winding down, we didn't talk about the draft at all because like there was a moment where like I was listening to it and everybody's talking about the draft, like, oh, this is going to happen. Oh, you're going to drop, blah, blah. And I got, really bad anxiety about it because I was so stressed and like I couldn't focus on, where my feet were at the time. I was only focusing on the league and I didn't like what was happening and like nothing good was coming from it. And so we stopped talking about it. Like my coach did it. Anything that had to do with anything that was not college basketball was not allowed to be talked about with me. And so I felt like that really helped me just focus in and, try to be there for everybody, for my teammates, just so, we can continue to have fun while like this time that we have together is winding down.
Yeah. A little bit off basketball for a moment. You're part of the Divine Nine. What made you pledge?
I wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself that wasn't basketball. And I wanted to do that, but also wanting to join a sisterhood that was big on like community and like helping others. Not saying that the other orgs don't, but I felt like Zeta's is more in touch with it.
Okay, special. And do you feel like, I know a lot of people talk about the sisterhood that comes from being a part of a sorority, not only while you're on campus, but I mean, I see all the Zetas that come to games now. They're literally, every time we play, it doesn't matter if it's here in Atlanta. I think Chicago had a lot.
Chicago did have a lot.
I specifically remember seeing them, but what is that like, kind of having this extra family on the road, here, just kind of wherever you go, you have that connection?
It's just great because like you said, everywhere I go, there's going to be somewhere that I can, hit up, or if I need anything, there's connections everywhere. But even with Zetas that aren't like my line sisters, I was just talking to some of, my sisters at Kentucky the other day and like just catching up and, trying to get them to come to a game. But that's just a bond that you'll always have. Like you've gone through things with them just as you've gone through things with teammates. So that's definitely a bond that, can never be broken.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. It's you have so many different families now, right? You have your own, you have the Zetas, and then here with the Dream, your Kentucky. It's really special to have like just that much of a variety in your sports system where you can get different things from different people. Moving into this season, you've definitely been, as you were last year, but I think this year, you've definitely been one of the centerpieces doing your thing, scoring 17 points a game. Do you feel like as a team, we found our flow? Are we still kind of getting there? I know we kind of have ups and downs, but what do you think our cohesiveness is like and just kind of our team identity?
I would say we've definitely found a flow, and it's helpful having, Leash, another guard that can score however many points she wants, and then having a heavy post presence in CP. Yeah. Because now I can get those looks that I get and they can go off. So teams can't only focus on me. And, when you come in and you have 8 points, or Nia goes in and she's aggressive, it just works for everybody because now it's like, who do you guard? How do you guard us? Everybody can do something. Yeah.
How would you describe your game in general, but also just kind of like the mindset that you've had this season?
I would definitely say more aggressive and, last year I would let the game come to me and like see how I'm feeling and see like if my shots are going to go in this game or whatnot. But this year, like I go out and I put the pressure on immediately and, try to get easy looks from the jump so that when the game's winding down, those tough looks, I'm already comfortable. So now they're not as tough as the defense is making them, or, I have all the attention. Now I can get Alicia easy look. Now I can get CP on the post.
The coverage of women's sports, specifically basketball, is growing. Fans are becoming more and more invested in our game. What are some of the ways that you've seen coverage get better over the years that you've been playing?
Like more games on national TV. So like ABC, ESPN, and it's like, we're up to 9 million viewers. And like, that's huge. Like that's been growing. So that's however many from last year. And that's only in 1 year. That's only in a few new players in every league. And so I feel like that's definitely a start. And with the players that we have and their impact on the game, not only in the game, but in life, like take Angel Reese. You see her everywhere.
Everywhere.
And, people may hate it, but it's only got to bring more attention. Because like now you have to see what she's going to do. Because people are like, oh, she hasn't been in the gym, blah, blah. Okay, well, now you're going to watch to see if she was in the gym or if she wasn't. And I feel like, as she continues to get better, as she continues to grow, she's going to keep being the face of, women's basketball. And I love that for us because now she's going to bring all these people that have her back, all these people that hate her, and they're going to continue to watch.
No matter you love her, you hate her, you finna watch that game.
You're going to watch.
You're going to watch, and all that's going to do is raise viewership. Like you said about Angel, like, Angel haters, whatever, they're going to watch. But also like women's basketball haters, they'd be up in the TikTok comments talking about, oh, well, you did this in the game, so you watched.
So you watched it.
So you saw. So
because that was in the third quarter, halfway through. It wasn't just.
Yeah. So now it's like, oh, so you are a supporter of women's basketball because you're out here watching the games. Something really special about you. Your slam cover came out recently. You look amazing in every single picture. Super iconic. But you know what? What was that like getting to have your own cover? Did you like how it came out? How was that?
It was great. I loved it, and I loved, just being able to have that time and, reflect, but also paying tribute to Terrence, and, redoing his slam cover in one of the pictures. But, it's truly an honor, and I hope everybody gets a chance to be on something big like that, whether it's slam, whether it's, whatever the case may be, whatever your thing is. I hope that everybody can, have something like that happen in their life.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. I think definitely you playing tribute is really special to use your platform to do something like that. Okay, so we're going to move into our last little segment here. It's called the vibe check. It is rapid fire questions as quickly as you can.
Okay,
wonderful. Here we go. This first question is definitely biased, so remember that as I ask you. Who was best dressed at the draft?
Haley Jones.
Thank you. Okay. Best dressed in the league?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm talking about, right? Come on.
Okay, I'm just gonna say me. Underrated.
Okay. Okay. Oh wow. Tell him. Okay. What's the drill you never want to see on the practice plan?
I never want to see the Olympic drill.
Oh yeah.
I actually really dislike that.
Yeah, the shooting one, the full court one. Yeah, that's awful. That's awful. Okay, game-winning shot or game-winning block?
Game-winning shot.
Yeah, I knew your answer. You didn't even think about it. Okay, and one or three-pointer?
Both.
Okay.
And one three-pointer.
Okay, fine. Toughest place to play in the W?
Washington.
Okay. What's your go-to trash talk line? Our PG version.
I don't talk trash.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Hardest player to guard?
Chelsea Gray.
Great one. Great one. Best handles in the league?
Chelsea Gray.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Handles, passer. Like, what? Okay. What is This one could get a little controversial. Biggest flopper. We can go with no. Oh. I was gonna say we could say no comment, but okay. Who's your GOAT?
I think I'm gonna go with Candace.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give you reasoning.
Oh, let's hear.
So I used to just be like just say somebody like Cheryl, or I would change it to Tamika. But now that I'm like going back and people are breaking records, and I see since Candace Parker, or the only one again, Candace Parker this.
Yeah.
It makes me realize like, okay, you got me.
Yeah, she did that thing to be like Rookie of the Year, MVP in the same year. Come on. What?
Like, you got me. I'm coming for all of your records. You're right.
Literally, since Candace Parker. It's like, okay, we get it.
It's like, okay, we get it. You're the greatest.
Oh my gosh. Okay, last question. What's your best impersonation of Coach T? I know we did some earlier, but what's your best one?
Do you feel my energy right now? I need you to feel my energy right now. Nobody cares. They're not gonna lay down just because y'all are tired.
Yeah. And that's a really good one. I feel like we heard that today. We probably hear that one every day.
That one's coming on the daily.
Oh, 100%. And she's going to hear this and bring it up 100%. Be like, oh, Haley Ryan, y'all had something to say.
Haley Ryan, y'all feel my energy today?
Sure do, T, every day. But Ryan, this has been such a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode of Sometimes I Hoop. This has been a pleasure, Rye.
Thank you so much. It was great.